I thought about you with these pro days, and we've talked before about a pro day, but I'm just curious as a GM or former GM and draft analyst, what should we be looking for with these pro days, especially with these quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think my whole life of pro days, and that goes back almost 20 years now. When you mention quarterbacks, Dan, I really, it's less about the accuracy. It's less about all the things you think it would be about. And for more, it's about just personally seeing the ball pop out of a quarterback's hands. When you watch tape, it's hard sometimes to look at two or three quarterbacks together and say who's got more pop, more arm power, more strength, unless it's a Josh Allen, which just jumps off the screen. Okay. So when you go to a pro day, I'm looking at feet up. I want to see their footwork. A lot of these guys have never been under center, and being under center doesn't matter as much anymore because the NFL's in gun most of the time now anyway. But still, you go back to Bill Walsh, it's all about footwork with quarterbacks. So do they have natural feet? How quick are their feet? How quick's the release? There's the quarterback, Matt Corral from Ole Miss. When you watch his tape, it screams quickness from the feet up. He's got arm quickness. He's got foot quickness. He's got twitch. He's got accuracy. I want to see that in person. Malik Willis, I watched that pro day on television the other day. And I agree with Daniel Jeremiah. The first thing that caught me, and I saw it on tape, but I wanted to see more of it, he wore shorts, right? And you could see how powerful his lower body was. You think you see that on tape, but his lower body, and to me, I don't know how much of a baseball guy you are, but I used to love Nolan Ryan, right? When I was a kid, I used to love and I did some pitching, and I played college baseball, and it was always about the ground up. And with a quarterback, it's about the ground up. Malik Willis's lower body, I mean, you just sit there and go, wow, that reinforces everything I saw on tape. It confirms it. So you look from a quarterback, I want to see the pop. From a defensive end or a corner, I want to see him come out. A defensive end, I want to see his explosion coming out of a stance. From a corner, change of direction. You can see things live when you're 5 yards away from the kid that you can't really see on tape.
You know what stood out for me watching Willis was his personality.
Yeah.
And I don't know how important that is looking at it as a scout, an analyst, or a GM. But man, that stuff is contagious. And it looked like he loved playing football. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, Mike.
I don't think you are, Dan. And I think at that position, and I think that's the hardest position in all of sports. But I think one of the things you have to have is leadership. Okay. And natural leadership, stuff that you're not faking. Like I'll give you an example. Marcus Mariota, got to know him the last couple of years. Really cool because Marcus is not that outgoing, screaming, yell. He's a quiet individual, but he's got confidence. He's got quiet swag. And when you get in the game, you see some of that fire come out. There's different kinds of leadership. I think what you saw with Malik Willis was just a natural extrovert. And that's really cool. What I'd want to know, again, I wasn't there. I was watching it on TV with you, and I've never met him. What I'd want to do is get in a room with him and spend some time with him and see how that translates one-on-one. Talk to the people that know him best. It certainly looks like he's a leader. I love the fact, did you see the tape or the video from the Senior Bowl when he was handing out clothes to a homeless guy, right? So all the stuff, all the intangibles that are so important in that position, I'd want to know more about and confirm, because it certainly looks like he checks all those boxes. And to me, that elevates him a little bit.